All right, we have quite an interesting discussion this particular morning. It's a Thursday, and well, for the first time, we have Oluwatobi Ali who will wrapping up the show. Multifaceted leader, who also put what all he does in one word, who's very passionate about empowering others. It is great to have you.
Always a pleasure, Mike.
Welcome.
Mike, yes.
Our topic today is digital lending.
Yes.
Your secret weapon to thrive in tough economic times.
Yes, it's a secret weapon. Actually.
Is it? Is lending? Is lending or borrowing, as it were, so that people can, is borrowing even a weapon somebody can use, especially in times like this? It
is, you. So let me even start with this. The richest man in the world is a borrower. Right? I mean, he lends, he borrows money, right? The richest economy in the world, they borrow money.
Yes.
So it is what you use the money to do that now determines if it's a weapon that is fashioned against you or a weapon that is formed for you.
So that is it. That is
yes.
what you use that borrow money.
Exactly.
Because you know that US is at the highest, like you said, that they owe the most.
Yes.
They owe the most.
Absolutely.
One of the most thriving economy.
Absolutely.
And then, but we've got into the digital age where yes. you don't have to, go to see someone physically. All you need are apps and all of that to get. And, it has caused a lot of problems. Right here in Nigeria, with loan apps, as it were, there's quite a number of them.
Absolutely.
Adverts, you're seeing them in your face and all of that. And people have, some people say fallen prey, but, nobody pushed you to go there. You went there, you borrowed money and all of that. And then you get into trouble, people sending things to their contacts. When you are talking about digital lending, are you talking about these loan apps that we use here?
Okay.
Is it that kind of lending you are talking about?
So like I said in the first time, making smart decisions, tech is not going to help you. You need to do that. So you need to understand that where there is a good, there is a bad. So there are the guys like you talked about, even some of these Chinese companies that are all over Lagos that want to give you sharp loans, and you don't even know the interest rate, and they now start sending all these funny broadcast messages. Now, there are also responsible loan apps like Jawo, where it is targeted. So the first thing to understand about loans is that, like I said, it's a secret weapon. The only way it can be a weapon is this. The interest rate must be reasonable, number one. Like, for instance, then secondly, what you are going to use the money for must make more money than the interest. If not, you are entering into a trap. So the problem is that people loan money to buy shoes. That is not a business. People loan money to pay school fees. That is unwise, right? But if you check the economy, you check the richest man, you even check. So, for instance, let me give you an example. Jawo, for instance, I think just about 4 days ago, we crossed over 500 million in transaction volume. We've never done that before, and it's through lending. But the majority of that money is not our money. But the reason why we are able to do that is because, let's say, hypothetically speaking, we get, let's say, 10 million naira for 2.5%. And we use that 10 million to make, we make 10% from it. Okay. Hope you know that's smart. That means I've used somebody else's money to make more money for myself and pay the person back while still having more money. So the idea with lending is that lending is only responsible if it's going to help you make cash flow and make you make more money. If not, you have no business in lending.
See, you mentioned something now which a lot of people might say, see, it is unwise to lend to pay school fees.
It's very unwise.
Lend to pay house rent.
Very unwise.
And that's what a lot of people
or to even buy wig. Bone Street. Some people won't lend her herself.
That's what people lend money for. Because even though it is necessary, if you look at the hierarchy of man's needs, it is very necessary. Food and all of that.
But that's not what you lend money for.
That's what you lend money for. I think that's why a lot of people miss it.
Now, Mike, let me not even bust your bubble. So we did a research, and this research is live, and this is one of the reasons why many loan apps are going bust. So we found out that those who give loans less than 50K, 90% of the money is spent on bet. So another thing people do is they collect money from loan apps and they use it to bet. How are you going to make that money back? So that's why, for instance, we in Jawo, we only focus on people that have business, maybe like a POS or a merchant. If you don't qualify, even if you go to jawo.io and you're asking for loan 100,000, there's nobody that's going to respond to you. That's why,
people
need to understand that lending is to make more money, not on some expenses or things that are
So I've never tried it. I would never. But you're saying that most of these apps don't even cross-check what you're going to even use the money for, and that is what Jawo does. You cross-check what you're going to use the money for before you even give a loan.
Of course, yes, some apps do that. So, but they have their reasons for that. So there's something in the loan space that is like a markup. So you see some people asking for as ridiculous as 30,000, 30% in a month. What business are you going to do that? You are going
that will give you that kind of
30%. But this is the idea. The idea is that even if 70 of the people default, if 30 people default and they pay the 30,000, the cost of their profit will cover. You get, but that is risky. So they
already know that some people will fail.
And they know now, of course, because that interest is too high. Any interest that is more than what you can pay and make money back, it's a trap. you are only going to get into trouble. So people need to understand that, especially during this time, you need cash flow right now, but you need a business. And if you can get loan that pays you and you are able to make money, pay back the money, and still make some more money, please keep going. That's part of my own secret, and that's one of the secrets of Jao too.
Yeah, earlier on we made mention of a particular bank now that it seems that it's failed, as it were, and how loans also affected it. You made mention of that.
So they lost, Heritage Bank lost about 700 million, is it 700 billion? I'm not either million or billion in loans, right? In bad debt, they call it bad debt. And because of that, I mean, they've closed shop, their license has been withdrawn. So what you need to understand, this is the reason why it seems the cost of loan is increasing, because banks are also running away from it. Because many people who claim to want to collect loans, they don't really have a business or that is going to pay back. And when those loans do not have collateral, especially if it passes like maybe 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, then it puts that company into trouble. That's why, for instance, in Jao, if you come to Jao, you want to collect a loan, our interest rate is quite reasonable, 2.5%, but you must be either a POS business, a merchant, or somebody that can pay back the money. And once you pass a particular threshold, if you don't have a collateral, we are not giving you any money, because we didn't come here to just...
Exactly, now that's the point. Digital lending, how does digital lending, how does it come in when it comes to collateral? How do you verify collateral since everything is digital?
Yes, so there are APIs that we leverage on, right, that can tell your address, where you are from, that can tell your digital records, that can check even if you have issues with the credit bureau, if you are owing some other apps. There are APIs that do that, right?
Well, our credit system in Africa or in this country is not as
we are
as
getting
tight as it is when you're looking at this.
So, and let me now break this. Now, they're even in the loan space, they say stuff like 60 data points. Now, with all that, what we just do with all that is to make informed decision. But the only way you know a person that will pay back the money is if they pay back the money. So sometimes you never know, but you put these checks in place. But like I would say, which is something that if loans is going to be a secret weapon for you, please ensure that the cost of that loan is cheap, and that you have a business you are going to do that is going to pay back the interest, so that you can make more money and even keep increasing the loans that you are, that you are taking up. Because that's the way to go in this present economy. Because, I mean, cost of funds is increasing by the day.
It is. And what is an interest rate for people going to, take loans anywhere? What is an interest rate that you think is reasonable, applicable or reasonable as well?
So it depends on your own markup. So, for instance, we did our research. We found out that POS guys, I mean, those guys are making some good money, right?
Are they? If they're taking 200 or 100 naira for transactions, how many transactions do they make?
Please calculate this. So let me say this to you. You might not know this, right? With 100,000 naira, a POS agent is probably making nothing less than 10,000 from 100,000. That's 10% of the money, right? Okay. So do that do that for 1 million. You will understand what I'm saying. Now, if they are making 10% and we are charging them 2.5%, that's a good deal. It's only if that money is diverted, that's when they will not be able to pay the loans. And that's why I think to some degree, Jao has that track record where our bad loans are 0.something%. We rarely have
very low because of the kind of people you give it to.
The people we target.
And then
it's
a win-win
situation. Business, we are not interested in.
The win-win situation, because you ensure that your profit margin is going to exceed the interest margin.
Exactly. And we are supporting that business, and that business is also supporting us. So people who are also investing with us, they have a sure way to make money.
Wonderful. So that's the key to digital lending, ensuring that whatever you are doing or you're lending is something into what now?
That makes more money for you.
Assets, not liabilities, things that can create more than that interest rate.
Your head has always been correct.
It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Great.
This is quite. So we've got breakfast for you. Are you fasting? I know you're a man of God.
For the first time, I've not eaten yet.
You're a man of God. You should be fasting. I don't like this. You should be fasting. He's fasting, please. We want to wrap the show up here. I'll come this way, please.
All right.